In contemporary German literature, but I think this is true of American literature and other literatures as well, the Holocaust no longer appears as a narrative unto itself. Those early literary encounters with the Holocaust tended to tell you about the whole events. But now, when the Holocaust appears, generally speaking, it appears in small moments, in kind of passing glances. And I find that to be very much similar to the Stolperstein, a small pavement stone commemorating a victim in the Holocaust. So why is that valuable? A Stolperstein is a small piece in a large area by definition. On the one hand, you can ignore it. On the other hand, it is something that can strike you out of nowhere. You are reminded starkly by just looking down at the ground of what happened. What do you do with that? You probably walk on. But it may stay with you. It may echo. It may resonate. And this, I think, is precisely the way these little stories work within these larger novels. And what that does for you, I think, is it gives the reader an opportunity to let that Holocaust episode work in a truly literary manner, where the reader can engage with it more freely. That worries people. Sometimes they think, oh, this is the beginning of the end. Once you start with fiction, then, where is the truth in all of this? Well, my study tries to find out just that. An example would be a book by Christoph Wolff called Was bleibt, What Remains. The larger book is about a narrator being spied upon by the Stasi, but the little narrative has to do with a saleslady at an alcohol shop recalling years earlier during the Nazi period a girlfriend by the name of Elfie who had an opportunity to be saved, and it tragically doesn't work out. The narrator then walks away from it, but what I'm trying to argue is that we needn't walk away as readers. The shock kind of radiates from it, but there's also the capacity that's demonstrated by the narrator to kind of walk right by it. That, I think, is that this double-edged, two-sided possibility with the Stolperstein that gives you both the possibility of learning something, of experiencing something, of encountering, and the reality that we have every day and perhaps need to survive, and that is to simply ignore it or put it behind us. They have a way of making fresh this horrible knowledge, which, I think it should be. Genocide is still a major concern for us. And if we habituate to genocide, there's really no hope. I think it's ultimately a really idealistic move that's being made here. I've had wonderfully intelligent and creative students. It's an active imagination that you want to inculcate in your students. The last thing I want to do is have them simply take on a critical view that I have happened to come to. Much more important to me is that I can teach that critical set of skills and also impart that appreciation for different kinds of readerships in different contexts. I really would like to talk about larger issues and hear why they disagree, and then talk about what it might mean in their setting. Why is it interesting in America? Those questions, where my students are themselves the interpreters, are much more interesting to me. They will see something that I just hadn't seen, and I love to identify that and to celebrate it.